Hey guys, Huma Corn here, and in today's video we're going to be playing the Beginner's Guide. It looks interesting. I've seen a couple of people play it before and I wanted to try it out myself. Before we get into the video, if you like Ark Survival Evolved content or gaming content in general, make sure to subscribe right down below. We also have the comment of the day, which is from Mark Davis, and that is, so have you started on a new server after being raided? What happened to the revenge? And I've started on Naked Zombos servers, which a bunch of YouTubers are on, and I thought it would be good, so I might start a new PvP series after that, but yeah. So let's just get straight into it. Alright,
Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Alright.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that
how did he get the game?
The simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level.
I
Of
see.
course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about
I heard a voice crack then.
Not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day he just stopped. In 2011,
he
stopped
making the games.
And then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe...
Sorry that I'm not talking much, I'm trying to listen to what he's saying.
And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Whoa. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
November 2008. Alright, so this guy's making games, and it looks like... Whoa! Oh! I have a gun. What is this? Whisper Machine.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I have a gun. This is sick. Wow. I can't reload it. What? No! I can't reload the gun. I'm just gonna have to whack the monsters with it. Or whatever's chasing me.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they
Crouch.
are, rather than for
Yo,
what they're
yo,
not.
yo, yo.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
So there's no monsters. Why do we have a gun then? Wait,
I
we're
love
in
how you can see the bottom of
space.
the universe from this room.
Ha! Alright. Oh, what is this? Is this a maze?
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Yeah, just skip me past it. Ha! I'm gonna go back in. No, I'm not.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Alright, so this guy is making
You there, in the engine
this.
room.
Why?
You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
Wait, so is this real?
For all of
Or
our lives. Would you do it? Could you give yourself?
so is this actually a real story or? Wait, so I have to walk in.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced,
Should lie down.
and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere, and this is what happens instead.
Oh, we gotta walk in again. Okay. Let's kill ourselves again. Oh, whoa. Yo, we can see everything.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an
Okay.
important moment
The
for me.
maze.
Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. So I'm really sorry that I'm not talking much, it's just I want to get the story, you know.
Yep, in this game you can only walk
past-
backwards.
You can only... Wow. You can only walk backwards. Wait, can you fall off? Okay. Whoa.
So it's a short and relatively
But the future
minimalist
could not be
experiment
seen.
combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice
Bit
rather
down
than
there.
simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
So is this guy actually making all these games, or how will she find the strength? Okay. There was a door
Short
here.
little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need
Oh, is that
anything
it?
more than
Oh.
that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
This is a horror map. Oh no. You are now entering.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Alright. So now we're in December.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Whoa.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Why are we fat now? Why are we so slow?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
How do I run? Oh, here we go. Stand on X. Wait, what? Whoa. I don't like this music.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Games, this,
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Okay, so this is game ideas. A game of only posters and concept art showing them. Oh. 2009 now. Okay, so Coda has made these games and it's getting weirder, I think. I don't know. That's what I'm getting so far. We're in a bunker now. What is this?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
How do you open the other one? What if I lock myself in? Oh, I'm just a genius.
Don't
Nah,
forget
I'm
that
sorry.
Solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
3 dots. Alright,
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
all of the walls. Enter. Oh. Whoa! Yo!
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
Useless
I
other
actually
things that you
find
can't even
this
see.
game
It's
comes after the
amazing.
Stairs game, since they essentially
Nah, I'm
convey the
joking.
opposite
That's pretty
idea.
cool.
So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
I don't know. Oh, okay. Oh, we're back. Oh no, not this game again.
Aha. So,
We're now
this,
exiting.
combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in. Some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
March. Okay. So those games were connected. I don't know how, but The Great and Lovely Descent. Oh, whoa. It's a house. This reminds me
talk about
of...
video game
Oh,
development
never
for a
mind.
second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in
Game
other words,
engine,
the engine
yes.
is a set of tools for game development.
So what I was going to say is,
To
this
make all of
reminds
these
me...
games,
Okay, never
Code
mind.
is using-
Shut up! Let me speak!
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Whoa. Yo. Yo!
The
We've got,
tools
like,
available to
a-
the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making.
Yeah, I'm
You
jumping
might
off.
consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games.
Oh, you don't
notice
die
how
at full
they
damage?
seem to
That is,
stand on
like,
an engine
the
that's
best
very
game.
good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Okay. So, it reminds me of that game called SketchUp or something like that. I was going to say that, but... What is this? Why is it like pens? What is this? Is this jail? What is this? The gate just... Okay. Whoa! Oh, okay then.
This
Oh, nice.
Funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before.
An
letting you go.
hour.
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is something
Why would
that
he-
I used to
okay.
argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would
Mhm.
always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games.
Playable
That was
games.
full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
So he played... So they are now fighting over if they're playable or not. I mean... You know... They're alright. They're alright games. So, oh, this was... I remember seeing this in that game where they removed all the walls and there's like loads of stuff. I remember seeing this, so this is the same symbol. Ah, that's why, because no, that
With
was...
the exact same solution as the last time.
So it was the same... You guys remember that? That pattern, okay. Exact same solution, okay, so... Oh wait, yeah, forgot. Need to...
There's still no
Nuts.
clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay. What is this? What the fuck? Listen.
Here, Coda
You there,
uses
did you
a dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
What do I say? 1. You've been there. Okay. Again, perfect. Now tell us, please, how you solved it. Well, my answer isn't here. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. Alright, we'll just say that. You must think harder, please. Try to remember. It is so important that we can get out of here. We must escape this prison. Can you think harder? There must be something more. Please tell us how to reach the end. Oh, what? Oh, what happened? Oh. Alright, so why did I speak to them? They're back. We're in the exact same bit. No, we actually find the black space between the door far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? I actually now mention... Okay. Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon. No, okay. So these games are literally meant for nothing.
One last descent
Oh.
down to the final floor of the level.
So these games aren't really anything, but they're starting to argue now, and now he's progressing. Is that it? Seems it's becoming more intense, so I'm guessing something's gonna spike off. Oh, lamppost.
It's a lamppost.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
So we gotta get to the lamppost.
Games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Alright. So we're in, what is it, December now? Or something like that? No, what are we in? We are now in April. We're in April. Okay, so it's been a long time since this guy's been making the games. This game is connected to the internet. You can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Whoa. Note. Alright. Nice room. Not. Wait, so is this game actually connected, or?
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played.
Every single one,
Jesus.
Jesus.
Shortly after I met him at a weekend
Whoa,
game
holy
in
shit.
Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person.
Reasonable.
In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me.
I want to go over there.
And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra.
No, I want to get down there. Alright.
Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs.
Wait, you can actually get
and
there,
has
though. How'd
no
you
way
get
to
there?
Express them, except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
I want to go on these other bits. I want to go on, like, down here. I want to see what the notes say.
That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world.
So many. Oh, there's a painting. Wow, how did I not notice that? I was literally staring at that bit. I was staring at all the walls and stuff, and then I didn't even notice. Alright, whatever. So I'm trying to figure out the story. Like, I know so far what happened, but I can't. Oh, here we go. Painting. Okay then. So we're in April. It's been some time, and then so this is where the guy met Coda. Okay. So this is the first game, and then wait, I'm still confused. Is this are these games actually made by him? And then
we're going to see the puzzle again. And here,
okay.
I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Okay.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause.
What?
Just for a moment. A few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here.
What? Wait, how did that work?
Connect the pieces together to grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Oh, what was that paper noise? Stop that. Oh, it's typewriters. Nice. Right, I'm at the end. Speak. Okay. June. Oh, May to June. Okay. Hey, so this game took him. Okay, Porn stars die too.
It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Oh, what's in here? Okay. So these games are getting more interesting? Is that a word? Is that a word? Of course it's a word. I meant like, is it the right word? Oh! We're at the bottom of the well! Yo!
So, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just
now we can't get
to
out.
The end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Version 2. There is nothing here. So that's where we were. A refrigerator. That's not a fridge, but okay. Oh, never mind. Wait, am I getting all these things wrong? You need a table. Okay, who are you? What? Oh, okay then.
There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
How far do the walls go?
Okay, throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
This guide will enable you to escape from any prison environment. Okay. First, click on this table. Now, turn the lamp in this room on and off. Now go to the left side sofa, move it over a bit, okay. Why are we doing this? Finally, touch the shelves. Okay. 3 dots again. Ha! See? I remember this. What does it mean though? What do these 3 dots mean? Return. Oh, did we do it? Where's the lamppost? I swear he said... Oh wait, no. Oh, we're back.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going. And
this is the same thing we hopped down that time.
And then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. So we're in the forest. So now he's making loads of prison games, which this guy's saying is not a good sign. I'm not sure. Oh, okay then. Hello, who is this? Okay. You're me.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Okay. How could you possibly forget it? Oh shit. What do I have to do? To get out, all I have to do is... To get out, just talk. To get out, you need to tell, I don't know. What? Okay, so now we're having
I can see why he considers
full
this
and
a
all
fitting conclusion to the
conversations.
After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
August. Okay, so we're done with the prison games now.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
How are we hopping between different games as well? Does he just like load them in or something like that? Clean. So I might as well be having to clean it all by myself.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular
Clear
game
this table.
wants to create as a result.
Bedroom make the bed. Why don't you do this, you fucking thing? I don't want to do this. Alright, there you go, mate. While you're there, okay. How do you end up doing this job? This couch. Oh dear, Mate, I'm not a house cleaner. Do it yourself, you green head man. Make it especially cheesy. I don't know what. No. Oh, okay then. This just needs to be washed. You do this! You do I don't want to clean. Books, there you go. How about you come and clear these dishes off the... I just did that.
Almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something.
Otherwise it owns you.
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually,
What?
this was the only one that he
I already
called
did
me
that
up
as
to
well.
ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Okay, so he's happy now. Would you mind tidying it up a bit? Mate, I did that as well. I did all of these things and it just goes back to being dirty. Earlier when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I'm going to say that it occurs to me that there's one light, one soul. Take care of it. Heh. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. I get it, that's... Okay. Come walk on the table. Okay. Housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. I did the box. Thanks. Just says thanks after doing it again. There you go. I'm doing it. Oh goodness, are those pillows over there in the couch?
I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
But, of course,
Do you enjoy this?
the music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at
No.
the top of the hill is now open as well. Again,
Oh, is it?
you can't
Yes.
stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
How you stay... Oh, so he's talking about actual real life things. Alright. Ah.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
September.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Was it to improve your life? To get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. To become perfect. Okay. Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. Effortlessly. This is easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
Whoa.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly,
so we
you discover
see
that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around.
Oh, so we're both... Oh, yes. So there's a bloody black hole. So what I'm getting out of this is... this guy is scared of teaching people as well. It's a confusing one, this one, actually. I'm trying to pick up on it. I kind of get what it means, but
I felt pretty hard.
I can't explain it.
I feel like
oh,
it's one of the
perfect.
most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other
Go
person
up.
is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way,
Okay.
and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
Whoa,
I think about
okay.
this game a lot these days.
Yeah, so it's... okay, so these games have actually meanings, but it's the first couple were hard to understand.
This one
Oh,
took
it's
a
the
lot
same one.
longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was
Stage.
4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little
Holy
strange.
God. Whoa! Oh God, that's scary. Like, the four must begin in places. Wait, what? Where do I stand? You'll be playing as me. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Okay. Professional photographer animals. Your dream is to become... This is your one chance to learn something from her. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Is that it? That's not a conversation. Okay, what do I say then? You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Oh, okay. I'm super scared right now. I'm picking up on... social anxiety. That's what I'm picking up right now. Because obviously, when you're talking to someone, this guy feels like he's on stage, so he's... And then he's... Okay. You're messing it all up again. Okay. Yeah, I get this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Yo. Lamppost. Okay then. Oh, we're locked. Do we... Okay, yes. Now this is working. This is what...
This eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fear of having to perform and having to chase success. The answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
5 months? Fucking hell. So if he has that, then why is he talking to this guy? Like... Mobius Trip. To play this game, you must keep your eyes closed. Yeah, I'm not keeping my eyes closed. Help, I'm blind. There is a door coming. What do I do? There is a... Oh, we are dead. No, we're back. What do I do? What's going on?
Probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Yo. Truth. Oh. The truth. Ah, okay.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
So it's getting longer and longer to complete. December. Okay, so now we're in 2010. So 1 year before he stops making them. Oh. Where am I? Okay. Is that a person? How lovely. Alright, so this game's dead weird. Alright, so I think I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to carry on with this in the next episode of this game. It's interesting. It's got a few levels where you have to really look and try and decipher what it means. So I'm going to carry on with this game. It's interesting and we'll see what happens at the end. But yeah, once again, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one and peace.